All right, Taylor, thanks so much for doing this. Appreciate you being on the podcast. My first question that I have for you is, just tell the audience a little bit about yourself and how you started in the role that you are today.
Yeah, for sure. I am a lawyer. I have a law firm, and I started my law firm 6 years ago. And I was working for other law firms and just really wanted to kind of do my own thing. So I do that. I have another like legal educational platform, and then I also had a baby like almost a year ago. So juggling lots of stuff.
hmm So tell me a little bit about the work that you do now. Do you do sort of like, are you a lawyer? What kind of lawyer are you? Or is it kind of like your own private practice kind of thing, like kind of counselors do? They have their own private practice. So is it like that, or do you work for like a law firm, or how does that sort of work out for you?
Yeah, yeah. So my firm, I'm the only like full-time attorney, so I am a lawyer. We contract out with other lawyers sometimes. So we have some other people that work with us, but yeah, I we help business owners. So we help with a lot of like trademark application filings, business filings, license filings, contract reviews. Kind of, I don't think it's boring, but boring stuff for them.
hmm So when you say you work with business owners, do you mean like small businesses or like,
Yeah, yeah, small business owners like one person owned businesses or like sometimes two owners, but our clients are pretty small businesses because I like working with them.
hmm And what sort of work do you do as a lawyer? Because there's different types of lawyers. They work in different types of areas, whether it's in entertainment, whether it's in other industries, but particularly for your specific area, what sorts of things do you focus on?
Yeah, we do mostly transactional work, meaning I'm literally just filling out forms. I'm drafting contracts, I'm reviewing contracts, kind of going over stuff with the clients. I don't go to court. I haven't been to court in a really long time, so we're not like the typical lawyer that you see on TV that's arguing in court. But yeah, we're doing a lot of just like business filing preparation for clients to make sure that they're hopefully not going to get sued. And if they do get in trouble, they have the documentation that they need.
hmm And so what was the driving force to like um make you become, what you are today? Was there some sort of like a mentor or was or did you have family that sort of encouraged you, hey, you should pursue this, you should think about this?
Yeah, my mom always was like, I think you should be a lawyer. She wanted me to, bare minimum, like just be able to really support myself and have a good job. Well, it's around good because that's subjective for different people. And she wanted, I like for myself wanted to be able to like pay my own bills and not have to rely on anybody else to pay for anything for me. So there have been points in being a lawyer where you make better money than some other times. Starting a firm meant I did not make very good money the first couple years because it takes a lot and you have to like get clients. Now we're in a little bit better of a place, but I started wanted to be a lawyer basically to like be able to support myself. And then the areas of law that I've been in are kind of a function of like who was willing to hire me at the time. But now I'm doing what I really like to do, which is helping business owners. We're doing a lot of transactional work. And so after like what, 10 years of being licensed, I'm now actually doing like what I want to be doing.
hmm And in terms of like, because like lawyers, typically you'd see they have a ton of caseloads. Is that the same thing for you? Do you have like a ton of caseloads, or is it depending on the situation?
We have a good number of clients right now. We have about like, I would say clients that are on, I guess what you could call retainer. We don't do retainers, but like clients that stick with us like on a monthly basis. We have about 60 to 65. And then clients that come in for different projects here and there, we probably rotate around like 100 to 150, 200 a year.
hmm
So it kind of just depends with the flow, but I make sure to keep the caseload relatively manageable because I don't want to be working crazy hours.
Hmm.
I can't because I have a little baby and I have to take care of her.
Yeah.
But I used to work at law firms where the caseloads were like insane, like way too many cases per attorney.
Hmm. But and how do you prep for the for those business how do you prep for those cases? Because I imagine it's a lot of work.
Oh yeah. I mean, it really depends on the type of project we're working on. But I also like that's why we meet with the clients either like one time to solve a really simple problem, or if they're dealing with something that's a little bit more complex and need us for a longer period of time, we are doing a lot of back and forth for a long time. So it really depends on like the project that we're working on. We don't go to like the typical like court situation, like a trial that you'll see, just because we try to avoid that for the clients. But I used to do the work where, you know, you're preparing for a trial, you're preparing to like go argue something in front of a judge, and that does take a ton of time, a ton of energy. It's very expensive for the client. So that used to be like a lot of very stressful work.
Hmm. Yeah. So my next question is, what have you learned in doing this kind of work? Now, because you said you used to work for like law firms and stuff, but now you kind of transitioned into your own thing. So could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. I mean, it's very hard work running your own firm because you can't just sit and be the lawyer. Like you have to also market the firm, so you have to get clients or else you're not going to get paid. So it's kind of like doing double the work, but I find it way more interesting. It allows me to be way more creative than just being a lawyer all of the time. Like, yes, I do legal work, but I'm also doing like marketing and I'm like posting on social media and all that fun stuff. So I think it's a toss up of whether it's like more stressful or not, but I think it's definitely more fulfilling at this point, like working for myself.
Yeah, because like doing your own thing, you're always faced with this question of how do I make money or how do I support myself or maintain
Mhm.
myself, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. So my next question is, is there any other avenues that you're thinking about going into, or do you want to stick to what you're doing now?
Yeah, good question. Nobody ever really asked me that. There's lots of things I like to do that I think are fun. Like we do some creative, like influencer work sometimes. So like we'll partner with brands on some stuff, which I think that's fun. It lets me be creative, but it's also a lot of pressure to make money like that. I don't think I could do that full time. Um, I really I like kind of coaching other clients on how to start businesses and run businesses. So that could be something that we have maybe in the future. But for now, I really love my law firm. It might keep I might at some point just keep it a lot smaller and contained, so like less clients. But I really like doing the legal work, just not like too much of it.
Yeah. Are there any sort of like, how do you plan to take what you're doing now on the road? Are you planning to do talks? Are you planning to give keynotes? What are you doing in that area?
Yeah, we usually do probably like 3 to 4 type of like panels or workshops, bare minimum like a year, where I'll travel to do stuff. I'll travel to like networking groups and give talks on business protections for legal protections for business owners. Or sometimes we do talks for like law schools or law students, or like creatives and business owners. Just it depends kind of on who wants us to come speak. But yeah, that's kind of something that we've been doing. I've been doing in the past couple of years. It's slowed down a little bit this year, just because I think economy has not been fantastic this year. But yeah, that's definitely something that we always kind of have our eye on, and I think it's really fun. I'm doing a ton of travel for that sort of stuff in October.
Oh, how fun. Um, My last question is, like for those who are wanting to get into like the law space, but who want to also do what you're doing and like creating their own law firm, what tips, advice would you give them? Because I don't know what your experience in like the whole law school thing was, but could you maybe talk about that?
Yeah. I think a lot of people that want to start a law firm have that vision ahead of time. I think a lot of to be a law firm owner, I think you have to be very like, I want to do that from the get-go. I wasn't really like that. I just kind of decided to do it because it was a avenue I thought would bring me a little bit more happiness, which it has. I think if you want to start your own firm, definitely start like talking to other lawyers who have done it, see kind of what their experience is, but you also need to figure out and learn how to run a business. Like that's very important when you're opening a firm, unless you're hiring like a marketing firm or somebody like an operations team who's going to do it for you. Like you have to not only do the law, you have to like get clients and then you have to keep the firm running. So like learning to run a business has been interesting.
Yeah. Alrighty.